If this is not another reason to just stay away, I don't know what else to tell you. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations to the overwhelming tabernacle of David that is scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. So I'm not sure if YouTube is even going to allow me to put this up. They might, but probably under the restriction of, age restriction. But this was a crime that was caught on camera in broad day, showing you that Eve is such a demonic entity, man. She doesn't even care, right? It's like, where did the humanity go? The behavior is not becoming, of a woman. It's like she's lost herself long ago. And now, she's just a violent, angry, impulsive, it's like what more needs to be said? And this is what we have, this is the state that our people are in. This woman is running down the street in broad daylight, gun in hand, chasing down another woman. All right, another woman of her own nation, where she shoots her down in the street. She chased her down like Bishop did Rodamy and Juice. Gunned her down in broad day. This is why we say what we say, man. And this is why more men, they're opening up their eyes to you, and they don't want anything to do with you. And this is why you're single. This is why you're not getting any motion in these social environments, these social settings, these they throw these little brunches and mixers and little events where they expect to interact with men, and men are not showing up. Men are giving up on the nightlife because they're not trying to run into you. So it's closing in on you so-called black women, and you women are just crashing out in these last days. All right. And, you're battling with yourself and don't even realize it. At this point, you're your worst own enemy. So anyway, this is in Baltimore. All right. It happened March 18th, according to this report. This is on USA Crime on Instagram. It happened, in broad day, where this woman, she was right on camera, and the woman that you see in the still shot in the green top, she's the murderer, the killer. All right, you can see she got on small gym shorts. You can see she's overweight. All right, and she's basically running down the street chasing, I guess, another woman, and who knows what it was over. But when I play the video, you're gonna basically see it. Matter of fact, this is what I'll do. I'm gonna play the video, but I'm gonna pause it before it gets to the graphic part, where it actually shows what initially happened. All right. But she's definitely caught, right on camera. So these women, they don't care. They're just demons. She didn't think about, her future, the rest of her life. She didn't care about nothing. And it's very dangerous when you move impulsive and emotional, when you don't rationalize anything, you don't think nothing through, you just do things in the moment. And that's these women in a nutshell. All right, so let me play this real quick. So you see this woman is hella overweight, right? So she definitely don't get any men. More than likely angry at the world. Didn't have a good upbringing, of course. This is Baltimore. We know that cities like Baltimore, all right, and cities in the DMV is pretty rough, and very impoverished. A lot of street activity. All they know is violence. All right, but you see what she's getting ready to do. She pulls out the hammer, the gun, and she cocks it as she's running towards her victim. And for obvious reasons, I'm not gonna play the rest of the clip. But you hear the gunshot, you see the body drop, and then she turns back around, and she starts running back up the hill, up the street. So, this is where we at with it, man. Okay. And this is not a surprise. Jake is just under the curse. Going back to Deuteronomy 28, it talks about how, our eyes shall, basically Jake's eyes shall be evil towards each other. So, yeah. So I'm pretty sure she's already been booked. All right. And they're going to definitely throw away the key, because she was caught directly on camera. All right. So let me get a quick precept. And I'm going to go to the other New International, New Living Translation, of course. And let me get Isaiah 59. And hey, it's catching up to you, Jakes, man. All right, all you wicked niggas and women that are caught up in these crimes, you out there committing murder. You got these two back-to-back takedowns where you had the big U guy, the Crip leader in L.A. He was responsible for a murder, and he was known for extortion and putting bounties on people. All right, getting people whacked. He's a a felon. And then you just had that rapper Yella Beezy, Texas rapper. All right, he got into, I guess, a beef with another rapper years ago, and it led to some altercations and shootings and scuffles between two parties. And then later down the line, the other rapper that he got into it with gets murdered on the highway. And then, come to find out, they've been keeping tabs on the dude. He was the one that was complicit and, getting him murdered. So it was another murder for hire. So, all these rap niggas and these dudes that's in that street life, now they're getting caught. And basically what's happening is the Most High is bringing justice to light. So, hey, I'm with it, man. Get all these niggas off the street. He that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong that he have done, and there's no respect of persons. Get all of them. So this is Isaiah 59, and I'm going to start at the 6th verse. And it says, that webs can't be made into clothing, and nothing they do is productive. Like, look at our women. What are they doing that's productive? Like, yeah, you got some, and I'm not talking about you sisters, all right? I'm talking about outside of the world of Israel, all right? Our women in the world, what are they doing productive? If they ain't out there freaking off, having all these babies, getting into street fights, shaking their ass, twerking in the clubs and all these different social settings, trying to get attention, getting into drama, gossiping, or running down their ops in the streets and shooting them in cold blood, in broad daylight. And I'm talking about the women, but you can apply it to the men because the men are no different. And they're being raised by these creatures, by the way. This is where they get that energy from. And Jake is the main one without a family structure. They have no family unit. So Jake's environment is just in shambles. Very dysfunctional. No resources, and all got to be compiled in all in the same proximity. So leave Jake in that kind of environment with nothing productive. This is what you're going to get. This is the final result. And Esau knows that. It's all one big experiment. All right. It says all their activity is filled with sin. And that's pretty much what you're going to find. Everything that they do is counterproductive, and it's nothing but iniquity. All right, violence, adultery, drug use. It says, and violence is their trademark. Jake brag about, the murder rate of their city. We're black culture, which is an embarrassment, is where you have the only demographic of people that actually brag and are proud about the environment that they come from. But you're losing out of everybody else. All right, you're the lowest of the low. You're not progressing, not one bit. All right, you lead in abortion, you lead in homicide. Health issues. You lead in them all, man. But we dealing with violence. Your music, that's primarily what most of your rap music is about. If it ain't about promiscuity and being braggadocious about materialism that you possess, then it's mainly about violence. And now look, your rappers are going down in these RICO cases. You had that New York RICO case that brought down that street gang that was they used that little Hispanic rapper as a mascot for their set. They was getting money out of him, and then he was used as an informant and took them down. Then you had the whole Chicago drill scene and all those different string of killings, and all them rappers was all dropping. It was killing each other left and right. All right, then the feds got the Lil Durk dude. All these murder for hires from these rappers, they all getting caught. They leaving they leaving traces and money trails, activity on the internet. People putting out information online, people talking and gossiping, and the feds they're linked to it. They're subscribed to all your social media pages. They watching everything. Because Jake is the only dummies that like to put all their business for the world to see. They do everything on the internet. Self-snitching. You go to that, what's that, that dude who does his little comedy skits online. His channel's pretty big. Long Beach Griffey. He make little, parody skits of rappers in the booth when they snitch on themselves. It should be funny, but it be true. Because Jake loved to get clout off of foolishness, stupidity. So they boast about how violence, is their thing. And women, they're attracted to it. They love chaos. It gets, these low level, low vibrational women It excites him when a man is violent and he got street activity going on in his life. What it was the saying in the world, water seeks its own level. Scriptures say all flesh will consort to his kind, and every man will cleave to his like. So, you are what you attract. So you're gonna get, if you're a low vibrational, impulsive, dude, you're a street dude or whatever it is that you do, you're gonna attract low level, low vibrational, ratchet, low value women. All right. It says their feet run to do evil and they rush to commit murder. And you saw, you if you didn't see this whole video, you can watch it right on this account. This is USA Crime. All right. She murdered her. She ran and committed murder. All right there on the corner. And I'm starting to see more of this from our women now, where women are they're hopping out of cars and laying shit down, rolling up on chicks and blowing their top off. I don't know, was it like last year or the year before last where you had that so-called black woman? I don't know if it was in New York, but she just rolled up on the other chick and just gunned her down. So they're just as violent as the men are. So this is why we, have that energy concerning our own women, man. We tell you men, look at her, look closely. We don't even recognize them as women. We look at these other women and they still got a bit of femininity about them. You don't see them doing stuff you don't see activity like this from these other women. You might have a few women of the Northern Kingdom that's a part of those cartels and gangs that'll, they might do stuff like this, or carry out hits for, the kingpin that they work for or whatever, the cartels. But outside of that, you really don't see this type of behavior from these other women. You see this from the so-called angry Big Shirley or Keisha. I wonder why men don't want nothing to do with you so-called black women. You're too dysfunctional. That energy will destroy you. Just even being around it. Scriptures say it's better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious, angry woman. This is what you see. It says, their feet run to do evil and they rush to commit murder. They think only about sinning. Misery and destruction always follow them. And that's why, people stay away from Jake, especially in these neighborhoods, these ghettos, these inner cities. Nobody want to be there. These nations, they set up shop, they get your money, and then they get up out of there. They leave. They go to their families where it's more safer. Because you niggas are, curse shall you be in the city, curse shall you be in the field. So wherever you at, the property value, that whole area is just low. Because it's filled with nothing but, violence, devastation, depression. Since they don't know where to find peace or what it means to be just and good. Our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. All right. They're wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. I think I'm conflating two different verses. Hosea 4:6, for my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And then Jeremiah 4:22. All right. Well, people have not known me, for they are Sodom's children. They're wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. They're very foreign to the Most High. But this same energy, it's all over the country. The Lord said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So you got children, you got parents that are murdering their own children. Children raising up and slaying their own parents. You got murder suicides between, couples. Breakups and men and revenge, jealousy killings, killing a ex-wives or women. Or women killing their ex's new woman. All this energy going back to that same energy during the time of Noah. It tells you that in Genesis, the 6th chapter, that it was so much violence in the world, and the hearts of man was very corrupted and continually evil. So this is why this energy is building up, because we're in the last days, and the Lord is preserving all these wicked souls to the day of judgment to be punished. So going back to, I think I left off at verse 8. It says, they don't know where to find peace or what it means to be just and good. They have mapped out crooked roads, and no one who follows them knows a moment's peace. And you're not going to have any peace around niggas. It's not going to happen, because this is all they know. All right. Low vibrational environment. Nothing productive. Jake is idle. So this is why the Lord going to off 2/3 of them, and, the fact that, prophecy is happening, you got World War III on the brink, of course. That draft is going to start happening at any moment, because they're going to need people to join. Get these type of women, like these women and the men that's out here in these type of activities. You can give them something productive, and it's really not productive, but on behalf of this the beast, this government, they're basically, you can use them. All right, send them over there in the war that you're getting ready to have with Iran, and that'll that'll help things out, because all that's gonna happen is Jake is just gonna waste each other away in these streets, and man. All you could do is just shake your head at, man. Just looking at that. Just fat, overweight black woman. She barely got any energy to even run, but she had the energy to run and catch her op and shoot her. She mustered up the energy to run fast enough and far enough to draw the gun point blank and shoot her opposition, and then was able to run back. So, yeah, this place is trash, man. And the only thing left for this place is to be destroyed. Let me go to Hosea, and this is why the Most High is going to, put a lot of you out during the time of Jacob's trouble. Hosea 4:1, it says, hear the word of the Lord, O people of Israel. The Lord has brought charges against you, saying, there is no faithfulness, no kindness, no knowledge of the Most High in your land. And the Most High is far from their thoughts. You make vows and break them. You kill and steal and commit adultery. There's violence everywhere, one murder after another. And there you have it. This is an everyday thing all across Babylon and every ghetto in America. So Yeah, man, our people, they're done for. So this is why 2/3 have got to be cut off and die, because there's no use for them. So if you want to see the full video, just go to USA Crime on Instagram, and you can start following that channel. It just, that whole channel, it just nothing but footage of crimes and violent activities. All right. And it's in majority of the videos that you see is nothing but Jake. All Jake, wicked ass niggas. All right. Stealing, killing, basically doing what the scriptures just said in Hosea, the 4th chapter, which is why the Most High has a controversy with our people. Stealing, killing, all right, adultery, robbery, whatever. It's all here. Fights, altercations. Like you had this video here, 2 black women beating up on a white woman over a damn parking spot. So our women are just beasts right now. Why would you want to deal with that? What man of dignity and value, right? That conduct himself in a civil manner, what dealing would he even have with that type of woman? Stay far away. So I'm gonna end off on that note, and hopefully y'all were edified. I'm give all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Shai. To the next one, Shalom.